Hi, this is Justin from SonicScoop, coming at you from Joel Lambert Mastering. We are here with Mr. Marc McClusky after his big MixCon presentation just a few days ago. So Marc, first of all, thanks so much for doing MixCon.
Thank you for having me. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
and thanks for coming out and hanging out here. Couple questions for you. Soundtoys was the sponsor on this one. Why were you excited to work with those guys, and were there any plugins that you were using on this particular mix?
Yeah, I've been using Soundtoys for years. I don't even know how many years, but a long time, and I think it's an integral part of the mixes that I do. I use their delays a lot. I use the Decapitator.
Sure.
And actually, I didn't have the radiator, but I got it recently, and I've been using that a lot on drum buses, and I really like what it can do. It feels more analog, if that's a thing, and just how you can kind of like clip and add some more harmonics and distort things. It just feels more exciting.
Sure.
And then, of course, their delays. The Echo Boy is probably, I think, my go-to Echo. On every delay chain I have set up is an Echo Boy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the Micro Shift for, some chorusing if you're going for that 80s bass thing, or, on a lead vocal. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to, overdo it, but I love,
I hear you.
Yeah.
I want to ask you real quick about the delays. Do you have a template where you'll start with a couple of particularly preset delays, or how do you go about working those?
So the way I start my sessions is I have a really short room Lexicon reverb setup. Then I have a EMT 250 UAD emulation set on a second or so. And then I have the Lexicon 224 UAD that's set to a longer haul. And then I get into the delays, so then I'll use the Soundtoys Echo Boy, and I'll have a slap, a really short mono slap. Then I'll have a stereo kind of ping-pongy slap that I might use every once in a while. And then I'll have eighth note delay, and then a quarter note delay, and then I'll have a throw delay where I can do, something crazy on there. And then everything after all this plugins has some kind of EQ, and I'll EQ to the song or whatever I'm trying to create. And then after that, if the chain is some kind of modulation or something, I'll put it on that or feed it to another delay or another chorus or micro shift or something like that.
Sure.
I mean, that's sort of my basic template that I kind of start with as far as effects. So short room, medium thing, and a long thing, and then a bunch of delays.
And why would you pipe a signal into a delay instead of a reverb? What do you look to get out of delay as opposed to reverb? Oh,
so reverb, fills up the space, right? So you could have one hit of a drum and reverb, right? And then that reverb sort of creates this cloud, the way I see it. And a delay is more of a precise way to create depth where it doesn't cloud things, but it gives that sense of there's something going on back there.
Right. So you can set it further back in the speakers without take up too much space.
Exactly. Yeah. Great. Without cloud. I love the word cloud because that's exactly the way I see it. It's like misty.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's a crucial thing once you can start visualizing sounds and you're really listening and not just looking at the screen.
Yeah. You got to close your eyes. I turn off the screen. Totally. I'll do all that. Yeah.
So last quick question for you. If people were to get one kind of key takeaway from your MixCon panel, what would you hope it would be?
I hope it would be that I'm just some guy. I'm not the end-all, be-all of anything, and that's just the way I do things. Yeah. And you're going to do your thing and go for it, because there is no better or worse. It's like how we hear things. That's the beauty of this, is make the sound you have in your head. And I said this, I think, in my presentation or whatever you want to call it. Have an idea. That's the thing that I think most people miss, is if you don't know what you're doing, you're not going to do anything because you're just kind of messing around.
Sure. So before you turn a knob on the EQ, you have a vision of where the sound wants to go.
Yeah. And I'm very guttural. I know and everybody's different. Again, like I said, everybody does their own thing. My thing is I don't listen to a rough. I don't do anything. I literally just start pulling up tracks and I start turning knobs. And I know that sounds kind of opposite of what I just said, but what I'm doing is my instinct, my gut is giving me a vision. And then that's why I'm turning the knobs, because I want more depth. So it's I'm not going to go, well, should I add reverb? I'm going to go, no, I just want it to be bigger. So more reverb or whatever it is. I
hear you. So once you get good at it, you've been doing it for a while, those, plan and then action becomes almost one continuous mode.
Yeah. It's like the SATs. Your first instinct is right.
Right.
The more you think about it, you start to second guess yourself, and then you're not mixing, you're just kind of playing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So thanks one more time to Marc McClusky. Marc,
yes.
thanks for hanging out with me today. Thanks for doing MixCon and sharing what you know with these guys.
My pleasure. Anytime. Anybody can go to my website and hit me up. I'll answer anything.
MarcMcClusky.com.
That's it. Thank you.
This has been Justin from SonicScoop. Marc McClusky. See you next time.
Thank you.
Because the kick drum's in that room, right? Well, I don't hear the kick drum the way I want to hear it. So I just put tons of 50 hertz in there and that's it. And I think it sounds better, so we'll... Right? That's all like kind of tinny and really mid-rangey. That's all it needs. And then I put reverbs on it because you want to give it more space. Because room mics, like this room doesn't sound very ambient, right? And yeah, we can throw a compressor on there to pull out more ambience, but then what are you going to get? That, you know, that wispy, you can't use them. So I put the Decapitator on after that to probably just create some weird, crazy distortion sound.